Hi everyone, happy Friday. Make sure that we can hear. There it is. All right. Yay, weekend's coming. So, I'm Diane. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by my channel. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for taking a couple minutes out to make a card with me. So today is going to be a really easy, quick 15-minute card. And we're going to use some scraps, which is always a good thing, except that in my case, I have a whole bunch of scraps on my table, but of course they weren't the papers that I wanted to use, so when I got my other papers out, I made more scraps. So I have to make more cards. And before we get started, I want to share my Eden's Garden Suite with you because it came yesterday. And I'm putting together a workshop if you order the Eden's Garden Suite, which will become available to customers on November the 2nd. If you order that through my online shop with my shopping code that I will share when I get this all set up, I am going to offer 4 card projects that go with this suite, and I will send you the cardstock, any additional embellishments that you need for your cards. So I already know that you're going to need gold shimmer ribbon, the adhesive backed metallic dots, which I think are currently unavailable, but I have those, and any other elements that we're going to need for those 4 cards, along with the instructions would be emailed to you, and all of the elements would be sent to you, and the suite would come to you directly from Stampin' Up, but you would need to register through me to get that so that I know to send you the extra products and the instructions. But anyways, I'll get to all that as soon as I have it all figured out. I'm still working on prices. This isn't to make any money. I'm just trying to figure out the additional cost of the cardstock, ribbon, dots, things like that. The advantage of you doing a workshop like this is, for example, if one of my projects is going to use this gold shimmer ribbon, maybe you don't have a spool of gold shimmer ribbon and you don't want to get a whole spool of it because you're never going to use 10 yards of it. I use it all the time, but you might not want 10 yards of ribbon. So when you do a workshop like this and you get the elements sent to you, you'll get the products to make these cards, but you don't have to go to the expense of buying the whole roll of ribbon. You'll just get what you need, and it's only going to cost you 7 cents. So there's all that. So let's go down to my tabletop here, and hopefully, I should have left my iPad on so I could see what that looks like. My light burned out, and so thank goodness hubby had just given me a new light. And I was able to hook that up to my camera stand. There we go. But when I did that, I had to change my camera and everything around. So now, let's see. I guess we do need a little more light on this. It's a little low, isn't it? I was afraid it was going to be too high up. All right. So Eden's Garden has some really tasteful messages in here. Dear friend, how are you? My heart is tied to yours. Tug it if you need anything. Hello there, sending hugs. Let's celebrate everything. So, really nice, simple greetings that you can use on a lot of occasions. Red rubber stamps, and they are the distinctive. You can see the little etched lines in the stamping, or in the red rubber stamp. So they're going to stamp beautifully. I haven't done it yet because I just got it. The garden gems. These are in cherry cobbler and soft succulent, I believe. Cherry cobbler, soft succulent. Yes. Oh, I see the cherry cobbler now. The way the faceted cut is on those. That's pretty. These little gems are a nice different shape than what we've had. We have coordinating dies. Should have taken that out. I got all the paper out of the wrapper so that you didn't have to hear the crinkling of all that paper, and I forgot to take the dies out. Oh, well, can't remember everything. I'm old. Pretty dies. Look at that. I can already picture this being cut out of vellum or a metallic and making a pretty wreath. Nice. So see, there's another piece that if I do that, you would obviously get the vellum or the piece of metallic that you would need to make that card because it's not included in this suite. Sweet. All right. Paper. This is a specialty paper because it has the gold foil in the designs. Coordinates with evening evergreen and soft succulent. Two-sided 12 by 12 sheets. That one. My iPad's in my way today, no matter where I put it. Oh, that's pretty. Some more metallic. And the back side. Oh, that's pretty. Just a splatter. That's really nice. Could use that on a lot of stuff. Okay. This just has tiny gold metallic dots in there. Pretty. Oh, that's nice. Pretty ombre paper. Some gold metallic leaves on evening evergreen. And oh, that's pretty too. Can you tell I like this paper? Yeah, nice stuff. Very, very pretty. I like the back sides of those. They're going to coordinate well. And then also included in this suite is the cotton paper. This is something really brand new to me. I don't know. Oh, it's very thin. Beautiful. It's very soft, very light. Can't even separate it. Heavier than a tissue paper. I would say lighter than a vellum. This side is a little bit shinier and this side is matte. This will be fun to play with. See, can't you just imagine some of those wreaths being cut out of that cotton paper? Pretty, pretty stuff. So that's what comes in the suite. 2 packs of paper, stamps, dies, gems. And then, like I said, when I have my designs made, I will add any and all embellishments that we need to make our projects. Okay. So today's card, and I'm going to put, I'll put a registration form over on my website at BohoStamper.com, and you can reach me at Dian@BohoStamper.com if you have any questions. So I'll get that all figured up price-wise and get it on there so that November 2nd, if you are so inclined to join that group, you'll be able to get out there and order your suite. And a lot of those items, the papers and gems and stuff, are while supplies last. So if you like it, I would probably suggest that you order it sooner rather than later, because there might be some of the elements that would no longer be available to you. Okay, that's it for my sales pitch today. And there's what we're going to make. Sorry, I need a swig. So I guess that's not Ooh, awfully close. You might be able to see it a little bit better. Huh. Let's get measurements. There are measurements today. So our card base is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock that we'll cut in half. Well, those are birds outside. I thought my dog was crying for a minute. So you'll have then an 8.5 by 5.5 inch sheet of cardstock that we're going to score at 4 1/4, right? 8.5, 4 1/4, yep. So that we have a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base. Then you're going to need, my card base is cinnamon cider, and then my panel is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you'll need 3 coordinating designer series paper or pattern papers that match your colors that you're using. One of those is going to be 2.5 inches wide by 3 1/8 inches long. The second one will be 2.5 inches wide by 2 inches long. And then we'll need a strip of 1 1/4 by 5 1/8 inches. Okay, everybody ready? All right, let's get, so why is this still looking kind of wonky? So here's my card base, my cinnamon cider, already scored at 4 1/4. I'll fold it in half and give it a nice little burnish to give a sharp edge. My Blackberry Bliss card panel, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and yes, I'm keeping my dimensions visible so that I don't tell you the wrong thing. So before we adhere this to our card base, we're going to add our little designer series papers so that we can keep our borders nice and even. So you can see we're just going to have a small border in between these two panels. And a very easy layout, okay? I'm going to use liquid glue today so that it'll give me a couple of seconds leeway time there to line those up along my borders evenly. I am going to leave my other papers on here while I'm gluing this so I can try to keep everything straight. These papers are from the Blackberry Beauty. I thought they looked nice and autumnal. Hate flipping this over and using the back side, or using this as the back side. The paper's so pretty, but I do have a piece on here, so only a very tiny piece getting flipped around. Remember, you can use this with any pattern paper you have. And look at that for a card front. As long as they coordinate with each other. Let's see if I can get a little bit under that corner. I missed. I try to use very tiny dots of Tombow because it is a little sticky. And I don't want my card to be sticky. But I do want it to stay together. Yeah. Don't want that puppy falling apart. Okay. So, here's our front panel. anyways, I was saying you can use any paper that you have. What prompted this was all of the Peaceful Deer paper that I have sitting on my table left from when we were making gift card holders. And then I ended up, we had our mystery card party last night with Anne, and I had pulled out my Beauty of Tomorrow and Blackberry Suite here to make that card. This is that card, by the way. Isn't that cute? That light is a little bright, but I'm thankful for it because can you see my stamp even on there? There we go. So that was our card that we did last night. We made this little window, and then the inside of the card with some glue. I'll have to get my from in there. I'll have to get my glue eraser and get that off of there, and then the card opens up. So pretty. I like that. I had not made a window card like that, so and that's sitting in front of me because I thought it was pretty. All right, let's glue our panel to the card base. Remember, when you're using liquid glue, you don't need a lot. It's very strong. You do just kind of want to make sure you have a little bit in your corners, like I missed that one. And then center it on the base. Pretty. Yeah. And then I used a piece of Very Vanilla Blackberry Bliss ink. And I used Banner Year because I wanted Happy Thanksgiving. And I am going to, oh, look at that, I missed my T. I did that the other day on a card too. I don't know how. I haven't put this on the smaller block so that I would get it on. That's better. Stamp cleaned off. My new rule is that whatever cards I make on my videos, before I can put everything away, I have to do the inside. I spent 2 days making the inserts for cards that I've been doing on our videos so that I could have cards ready for the craft fair tomorrow. I'm going to use the seasonal label dies in this small one, which just fits. Actually, from that Beauty of Tomorrow, I wanted to use the one message stamp on there. The one about the seasons changing. The changing of leaves reminds us that new wonders are just around the corner. That's the one I wanted to use on this. But to die cut it, every die that I looked at, because it's a large stamp, so I'd had to have used a really large die, which would have covered up the majority of my card. And I didn't, I mean, I guess I could have, but anyways, I opted just to put Happy Thanksgiving on the front, and then I will pull out a stamp set and get my inside message. I'm just going to use my mini cut and emboss to die cut my Happy Thanksgiving with. Oh, that's the other thing. If there are, for my Eden's Garden project, if there are any excuse me, any dies, like label dies or whatever, that I'll use in my designs that are not included in the die set from Eden's Garden, darn it, I will have those die cut and included in your package. Excuse me. Don't know why my voice is crackly like that today again. Except Pennsylvania. Allergies. Weather changing. Oh, we had so many storm warnings last night. Oh my goodness, sirens were going off everywhere around us. Tornado warnings everywhere. And I am in an area where we did have a tornado. I forget how many years ago it's been now. It was in November. I mean, mostly we think of tornadoes in the springtime, but again, Pennsylvania. Ours was in November. It was on Veterans Day, as a matter of fact, which is coming up. Okay, so on my greeting here, I used a piece of Blackberry Bliss ribbon. I also had pulled out my cinnamon cider because I just wasn't sure which one would stand out nicer on the card. And I opted for the Blackberry Bliss. I'm just going to cut a piece of this ribbon a little longer than my label is. And I'm just going to cut it at an angle. Yeah, so when we get tornado warnings here, we kind of take it seriously. And when all our sirens started going off, oh my goodness, my husband was out working in the garage. I was like, are you going to come in soon? It's like, yeah, why? Because. Oh, and I cheated on my card. If you can see the little bit of thread up here, I used the remainder of my gold cord on this card last night during our mystery cards. So I've always kept, from when I used to cross stitch all the time, which I really miss, but I just can't see to do it very well anymore. I used to use metallic thread, and I kept all that, of course. And so now I pull it out and I'll use it on cards every once in a while. And I did have this bit of copper metallic stuff, so I just pulled a couple strands off of there. And you don't have to do this. I just kind of wanted to add a little bit of something to my card. And I just wrap it around my fingers a couple of times. And I'll trim off that raggedy edge and get a glue dot. And I'll put a glue dot on the back of my label. Ah, she says. Come on. And add that gold embroidery floss back there. And then I can twist it around however I want it to look and add another glue dot if I need it, which I might, just to make it stay where I want it to be. And so finally the weather calmed down without, well, I shouldn't say without, because I did not look to see if there were any local touchdowns, but I know that they said that Ohio issued more tornado warnings yesterday, I think, than they've done since 1950 something or other. So it was kind of an eerie evening, afternoon and evening. I'm not going to glue that on there because it didn't really stick when I tried before. I'm just going to put my ribbon along the bottom side of my label. I'm going to use dimensionals to make it stay in place where I want it to be. Hey, sissy. Did you come up here to make a card with Mommy? And then we'll use some mini dimensionals, and by adding those across the bottom of my ribbon, it will stay in place. Oop, missed one. Yeah, I'll have to go back, and I know some of the folks that I know who live just not too far from here were getting hail and stuff last night. We did not have hail. We just had a lot of rain. And then I can add my greeting to the front. Make sure that it's nice and straight. And then I'm using those brushed metallic adhesive back dots. And I'm going to use the little coppery ones. I was going to say it's not gold. Is that copper or is it? I think it is copper. And just add a couple of them to the front of my card. Should have used a bigger one for the top. I have more large dots than small dots on this panel. Waste not, want not. Yeah, more. Oh, I pulled that one right off of there. I was going to say I should be using my. That'll teach me. There we go. See how much easier that was? You take your pick tool instead of my fingernails. And there's our card. So look at that. It's not even 10:30. I already showed you all Eden's garden stuff, talked to you about the workshop, and we made a 15-minute card. So I think I'll do some insides. And then I can add these to my cards to take tomorrow. Remember, if you're out and about tomorrow, over by the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery in Boardman, the Relay for Life craft fair will be from noon until 4 o'clock. If you happen to make it out that way, stop by and say hello at my table. I used Berry Vanilla for my label. I don't think I mentioned that. And so that's what I'm going to use for my insides. And let me see. Thanksgiving. 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. I'm making my insides 4 by 5 1/4. Thanksgiving messages are not one of the most common stamp sets that we have. It's a little harder to find something appropriate. So let me see, what do I have out? I use this a lot. This was from our beautiful autumn set. My heart is grateful for you. But, oh, you know what? I had an old one. Paisley something in Paisley. Paisley Posies. Yep. Come here. Yep. And this stamp is the reason that I've kept this set all these years. Thankful, grateful, blessed. We need to have that on a current stamp set. Because we need to be thankful and grateful because we're so blessed. Yeah. Block here. Pretty, pretty. I'm going to put my mat under there after I knock everything on the floor, because I do want it to not stamp crooked like I did my Happy Thanksgiving. Miss my nice. So it was a pretty set anyways with the paisleys on there. I just think that message is wonderful. Oh, while I'm at it, so put these inside in a second. When you're going to, like, these are going to go in my craft fair pile. So when you are selling your cards, which you are free to do with your Stampin' Up! Designs, the angel policy is that you put the copyright stamp of Stampin' Up! On the back of your cards when you're using Stampin' Up! Products. So these come in, every once in a while they'll have a stamp set, and the little copyright stamp will be in it. And this one came out of a crafter's kit. I don't even know the name of it because I don't think I've ever used it for anything other than the copyright stamp. And there was a more recent one as well. But if you watch for them, there's usually one in the catalog that will have the copyright stamp for you. And then I had a stamp made up with my name on it that I sent away for so that I could add that to the back of my cards. Because as in all crafts and art, you should sign your work. Now we can add our insert. And do I have a little bit of tape runner left on that one? Oh my gosh. I've made so many cards. I'm out of every kind of tape runner that I had. I've used all my Stampin' Seal Plus. I used all of my Amazon tape. This is, I don't even think there's any on there. My son one year for Christmas, there it is, got me this Duck Permanent Easy Stick. And it works. So I'm especially grateful because I don't have any tape runner left. So I ordered it. And of course, it's not here yet. And I put in an Amazon order. So I ordered more of my other cheaper tape runner, which was scheduled to be here Tuesday. And now when I check on tracking, because it's still not here, that's it. I'm out completely. It says that I can request a refund. Like, oh my God, no, I have no more tape runner. So we're down to Tombow. So I have to go on today, request a refill, or a refund. Yeah, refill. And then reorder the tape because I need the tape. It's not so much the money this time. I need the tape. And there you are. So I hope you enjoyed that card today. Again, come out and see me tomorrow if you happen to be at the craft fair. Stop by my table. I have little boxes of truffles that I think would be nice to share with your Thanksgiving host, or maybe to a neighbor or a senior, if you have a senior in a senior center who likes candy. They're just small hostess boxes. I have Halloween coffins with treats in them ready for you to hand out to the kiddos. I'll have, of course, cards. I'll have some of my journals and one of my hand-sewn books that I've made. And, oh, tag toppers. I have some package toppers of tags I've been working on. Hopefully I can get a couple more of those done today. I'd like to have a couple more sets. And what else? I don't know. I think that might be about everything. That's everything. I've been working real steady on getting cards ready. But I hope you're there and have a lovely weekend. Thanks for stopping by and joining me today. And go make a card. Send one. Make somebody smile. Bye, everyone.